Hi everyone, let's talk about Newton, which is the new game from Cranio for Essen Spiel 2018. It's designed by Simone Luciani from such games as Lorenzo Magnifico, the new Barrage that's on Kickstarter now from them, and Grand Austria Hotel, loads and loads and loads of games. He tends to team up with other designers, and Nestor Mangione, who I haven't played a game from before to my knowledge, but this is amazing. I love this. This is just absolutely my kind of game. I've mentioned before with Agricola being my kind of first thing, that when I see a lovely medium weight Euro game illustrated by Clemens Franz, it says board games to me. Just personally, of course, all of this is just personally, but I love how different the situation is. You're presented with, a set of problems, a set of objectives that are different every time, just in the locations of all of the universities, in the developments, in the objectives that you can go for on the technology board, the stuff that's going to be on the work board as well. All of that is presented to you at the start of the game, and now you give yourself the goals. You start off with a tiny little nudge in the direction on your player board. You start off with an action that's going to be very slightly more powerful for your starting action, and you get 4 of the master cards as well that you might well not really care about or not really want to use. But yeah, just this simple card play system as well. Of you might get a special benefit, and then you do the action with a certain amount of power. If you keep repeating the action, you will get to do it more and more and more times. But for all of the actions, there's kind of a limit. Once you reach the end of the work track, if you manage to get all of your students out and get them to the end, if you manage to visit all of the things that you want on the map board, just doing one thing is kind of going to peter out. Maybe not the studying, because that's pretty powerful, but yeah, you need to kind of dabble in a few things. I'm not really sure, I haven't tried this in an actual game of just one person just goes insanely heavy into books, and having the card that let me put more books down in one go helped me out, versus someone that just ignored books. Maybe you have to do books a little bit, but yeah, it's just one of my experiments. Yeah, there's so many different paths that I can see in this, and not necessarily that they're going to be all as effective as each other, but it's just beautiful sitting down with this. Everyone's got pretty much the same hand of cards at the start. You're a little bit stronger in certain books than others, but everyone's got the same layout on their bookshelves, and you're looking for patterns in these, what's close to each other versus in the same row or the same column on your bookshelves, which bonuses are going to really help you out, getting more scientists out early, visiting the medical cities. They've come out really close to each other this time, so they're going to give me some early point income. Getting some early money income can be really useful. Advancing that work track and just being able to boost all of your actions, being able to buy a potion whenever you want, being able to get a person out whenever you want is brilliant. But, as Marty found, if you go a little bit too heavy into it, or you didn't spend that money as effectively, it's worth nothing at the end. And, your potions are worth nothing. If this objective tile hadn't come out, if something else had come out instead, those potions would have been worthless, and you'd have to do something else to try and earn those points. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can go in this. And yeah, the lovely twisting of the paths in this, that some paths all lead to the same objective, and some you're going to have to split off on. Some you can split off really early, like Marty did, and get yourself some income right at the start of the game. Get yourself one of the income tiles, depending on what's come out, of course. Or it could have been one of these tiles, that's the development tiles that boosts your actions straight away. You can fill up your player board with those. That's what I did in our very first actual game. Just try and get as many of those as possible, so all of my actions would be boosted up. I love that not only are you have to lose a card every round, and it's hopefully going to boost another action for you, but you quickly realize, if you haven't been buying new cards, that, I've got 5 cards left and I need to play them all next round and then lose one. I need to go and take my lessons and at least get one more card. But if you go heavily into that, they're not worth points necessarily, only if this card's out to give you points for every 2 that you've got. But just having a breadth of options and having multiple cards of the same action, so you can just repeat them and make them more and more and more powerful. And then when you do them in the future, like there's cards that, all the cards that you've got that have got green books, there's a card out there that, okay, for every green book you've played, get a point. You can look at what you look at what you're presented with in all of this stuff that's come out, in all of the cards that have come out, and what you have done in the game so far, And yeah, it's just a brilliant, beautiful puzzle trying to work out how to make the best of it and see how everyone else is going about it as well. The competition in the game, I know some people live for interactivity. The competition in the game is mainly, these bonus tiles. Who's going to take them first? Who's going to take the cards first? Because the bonus tiles disappear as well. There's nothing for going across that path second, and there are objectives that will give you points for having the most of those as well. So that can turn the game into a bit of a different race as well. But yeah, there's plenty of tiles that aren't in this game at all. But yeah, racing, yeah, there's a few things to race for. Interactivity pretty low in this, but that is beautiful for me. A big plus for us. Looks absolutely beautiful as Clemens Franz does his Clemens Franz thing, and it always looks beautiful. As I say, it's, to me personally, based on the Euro games that we started out with anyway. Yeah, it just says Eurogame to me. And as we were kind of reading through the rules and seeing everything that we would have to do, I was so excited to start playing just in the first few turns. Just like I'm loving this so much, and yeah, it continued all the way through to the end. And yeah, I absolutely love this so much. Definitely there's only Lorenzo Il Magnifico before, I think, and A Tale of Pirates from Cranio that I've played, I think, but definitely this is the best of them. One of the best from Essen so far. We haven't played that many of them yet, but definitely up there with Underwater Cities as a real highlight of Essen releases. And no, it didn't come out at Gen Con. I didn't go to Gen Con, so that doesn't count. It basically didn't happen, that convention. Essen release did really well. I've run out of things to say again. The sentences aren't forming anymore. Yeah, I loved it, but ignore what I say. I have particular tastes. The playthrough is there so you can make your mind up yourself. I'm finished talking about it now. I'm going to go. See ya.